Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am making a card based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 253. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, oh my gosh, you have got to check them out. It's a card making, paper making challenge that's on every Friday night, and I'll have the link to this past episode below. They spin a roulette wheel and tell you what project you need to make, what colors you need to use, and elements and random things you need to throw in there when you're making something. So for today's project, I need to make a card with 3 folds with the colors of sweaters. Element, it has to include some footwear somewhere. And random, you either have to use a Post-it note on the card or in making the card. All right, so I was thinking for sweater colors, back to the 80s, I had all these fancy, twinkly, sparkly sweaters. And I remember this green, gold, black, and white would have been appropriate for St. Patrick's Day. So that made me thinking of a St. Patrick's Day card. Now, my basic card is my usual card. I'm going to fit the 3 folds in here. You'll see. This is like an emerald green. Measures 10 inches by 7 inches, scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, creased it with my bone folder. This is paper I got from Joann Fabrics. And then I have a piece of white, which is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. That's going to go on the inside. And then I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8. You don't have to have that if you don't need these. And I've already cut out a center here. This measures 6 3/8 by 4 3/8. And then a piece of white, and I wanted the stitched edge on it. This measures 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that's going to go on the top. And then I have, I used Master Layouts 13 to cut out the gold, and that's what you saw from the center of my card here. This measures 2 1/8 by 3 5/8, and I'm going to use the inside layer, which is not stitched, to cut out after I do some stamping. All right, so let me get started. The first thing I need to do is I'm going to emboss this background. And we're going to put that embossing folder. Here it is. I'm using, this is an old embossing folder. This is Cuttlebug's cane back chair. And I just want this whole piece to be embossed. And I'm just going to try and line it up best as I can so that the canes will be fairly even. Now for my Empress machine on the old Cuttlebug folders, all I need is a base plate, metal shim, and the top plate. Okay. And that's how that looks when it comes out. Very nice. I love this embossing folder. Okay, I'm done with that embossing folder. Now I can put the top card together. I kept the white on the outside, the regular size, so that I would have a larger white border against the green card. So let me glue this all together, because what I'm going to do to the card is add it on afterwards, except for the inside of the card, which I will do next. See, no one's going to see the inside of the card, so you might as well get out what you can and use before you cover it up. Okay, now I'm just going to take my acrylic stamping block and just set this off to the side to let those glue down together flat. Now I'm going to do the inside of my card. And for this is where the sticky notes are going to come in handy. And I also have a piece of washi tape that is a green plaid. I'm going to put this right about here. Trying to get it even. Let's see. I'm going to lift up my mat here for just a minute. I'm going to use the lines on my glass mat to help me get this as straight as I can. There we go. Even still, it's probably crooked. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Always made my teachers like, how did that happen? All right, now I'm going to stencil just this little strip down here. So I don't want my stencils to cover up any of my washi tape or the top of the card. So this is where the sticky notes are coming in. I'm using it to block off the parts of the card I don't want to color. Got that parameter met. All right, now I'm going to use Close to My Heart. This is the color Clover. Now, I love their inks, but what is weird is the ink is actually, it's like upside down to what I'm used to using. Now, I'm going to use this new embossing folder I got. I got this from Simon Says Stamps, but this is Echo Park Paper Company, and this is their Good Luck Clovers stencil. And I'm just going to stencil some clovers down here. And since my card is larger than the stencil's made for, I'm going to angle it. And this is why I need to use the sticky notes. I want at least a couple of the clovers to be right side up. Now, I would normally use my grip mat, but my grip mat does not stick here. And this should be fine for just what little I'm going to do. And I'm going to get my green brush. And if I remember right, this is a bright, let's see, I'll use this over here. Yeah, that's a really vivid green. Okay. All right, let me see how that looks. Cool. All right. Just wipe this off a little bit here. But I'll set it aside and then I'll wash this later with some rubbing alcohol. And there we go. The inside of my card. Now, I did get a little bit of ink down here on my mat. I'm just going to clean this off with my tidy towel. Came right off. All right. I like these because it's a magnetic lock. All right. Of course, that company's now out of business, unfortunately. Now this is going to go on the inside of the card. I just thought that would dress it up a little bit. I mean, the greens aren't quite the same color, but they coordinate. Excuse my boarding house reach here while I get my card base. Okay, I'll just put the block back on that. And now I need to do some stamping. So I'll get out my stamping platform. And I have a piece of white scrap paper here. I did, but I'll just grab another 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'm going to stamp a leprechaun and a sentiment right below him. Now these I got from Amazon. I'll see if I can find the link below and put it. I'll find the link and put it below if I can find it. They have so many cute little St. Patrick's Day stamps. Now I'm just going to do my VersaFine Claire Nocturne. I will be coloring this with alcohol inks. I'll do one more. This stamp I had already used, so I did not need to condition it. All right. Clean that off with my toady towel. Now I want to put a sentiment right below there because I'm going to cut this out. So I have room for a sentiment right below there. They have little tiny sentiments. Put this back on the right one. Now this one doesn't have a sentiment I want to use. I think I have 2 sets of these. 2 different sets. One is like the leprechaun, and then the other is a bug leprechaun. And I'm going to use, let's see. I put that there. Maybe You're My Lucky Charm. That will fit below there. And this is a set of bugs that are Irish. Okay. Well, let's see what all will fit. Maybe just Happy St. Patrick's Day. So I want to just line that up as best as I can, right underneath the pot of gold. And I'll do one more. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And while that is drying, before I die cut it out, I am going to show you where the 3 folds is coming into this. I am going to make myself a shamrock. Now, I have this little heart that's just from Spellbinders. I don't know what set this is from, but this is like a 7/8 inch heart. And I cut out 3 hearts. And I'm going to color those with alcohol ink. I'll just get a piece of scrap paper here. Actually, I can do my coloring and then cut it out of everything. Now, I'm going to use G750 Emerald Green, and these are my Ohuhu art markers. And just scribble over them. Now, you could have used green paper if you had some. I didn't have any of the color I wanted other than the card base, but I wanted these to be a little bit darker in color. So they coordinate, but not clash. Okay, now I will need to cut a shamrock stem, but I want to put these together first. And this is where my folds come in. I'm folding the little hearts right in half. So they're going to be a 3-dimensional. So there's 1 fold, 2 fold, 3 folds. And my card will actually have 4 folds since I have the inside. Now I need to cut out of this. I'm going to cut, let's see, let's just color some of this in green. Because I need to cut the stem for the shamrock. And I'm not sure how good I'm going to do with that. Okay, use my little scissors. Now, I want it curved. And I want the bottom to be larger than the top. And I think that'll work. All right, let me color that. Now I'm going to die cut it out first. Just get it over with. Yeah, this one is the stamped edge or the embossed edge. I was thinking backwards. Get that right centered as I can. And die cut this out. he's cute. Okay, now I'm going to do a little coloring on him. I'm using the same green. Might as well just go. I'm going to color his hat and his clothing with this emerald green. And pardon me, I'll stop talking when I'm coloring around delicate areas. Now a shirt. And I'm going to do his pants the same color. And now I'm going to go back over the hat because I want to have like a little shadow on this side. So I'm just going to go over that and make that ink a little darker on that side. Now for his mustache, I've got YR792 Orange. I didn't pull out a color for his nose. I will have to do that here in a moment. It's his nose and his mouth. Oh, I forgot one sleeve of his arm. One, yeah. Get that green back out. And I'm also going to do the clover on the inside of the coin and his pot of gold in the green. You might as well do his glove too. Why not? Now he's got a 4-leaf clover here. I am just doing a 3-leaf clover on mine. I didn't have a heart small enough to make a larger clover. I suppose I could have hand cut them, but they would not have been uniform. Okay. Oh, I think, oh, there's his belly over there. I forgot that too. My goodness. All right. Now, for his beard, I've got Y696 Sunflower. I'm going to leave the mug and that uncolored because I'm going to use some stickles on there. Now for his bottom of his boots, I'm doing BG082 Cool Gray. And this is the same color I'm going to do the pot of gold in. Oh, I got some more beard down here. You know, I'm going to put the orange in the center of his cap. And every other band. Put the wrong color cap. That would be confusing. Feel free to fast forward through my coloring. You don't have to watch me color. But hang around if you do. I don't like to fast forward myself. I'll pause occasionally if something I'm going to do takes quite a while. But I kind of want you to know how long it actually takes to do something. Sometimes not very long, but then sometimes quite a bit of time. And the more you color, the better you'll get at it. And I'm not even close to perfect. I'm just a new colorer, and I make a lot of mistakes. But I have improved since I first started, and you will too. Now I'm going to go darker over here. The more you use your alcohol inks over one area, the darker the color becomes, and that gives you a little bit of shadowing. All right, I do need a skin color. Let's see. Let's get my scrap. Let's see what Barely Beige looks like. Barely Beige. Now, I am going to put black on his boots. This is just 120 black. Now the rest of him I'm going to color when I get him on the card. Okay, so let me put this card together as I envision it. So this is going to go on top of here. And then I want to pop this up. And my normal inclination is to go to the left, but he's going to the right this time. And I'm going to use my foam strip tape. This is a low loft. You can use whatever you have. I'll use those scissors for tape. I'm hoping that did not go over the edge. That went crooked. Nice thing about liquid glue is you can reposition it for a little while, other than get your hair out of there. And it's not a cat hair today. It's my own. All right. Now that I want to put here. Now, I did cut out, this is from GinaK's Hello and Shadow. I cut that out of the Gold Mirror cardstock also. But I want to get my shamrock in place. And I want them to pop up a little bit. So I have these little itty bitty teeny tiny. No, I'm not going to use those. Those make it too high and you would see the white. I am going to use, these are clear dots, but they're quite large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of these glue dots and I'm going to ball it up and put it on each side. Well, come on. Easier said than done. Normally they stick everywhere. And I'm going to put this shamrock down. And see, that way the fold stays up, but if you turn it, it's just clear instead of white. And I think these would be too tall. So just roll up your glue dot. And put it on each side of your heart. I think they'll say I used my stretchy pants making this card. On Craft Roulette, that means you kind of stretch your imagination to meet the parameters. And this is a card with 3 folds. Now, let me see how good I did at making that stem. Oh, that actually looks cute. Okay, it looks like a stem. So this I'm going to glue down flat. A little bit more glue there on the end. Come on. Pick you up. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right, now I'm just going to glue down the hello, and I want to see if I can get my thinner glue bottle to open. And get the glue to come out. There we go. This is just art glitter glue in a fine tip bottle. And I'm putting glue pretty much everywhere as much as I can on this because some of these edges are so fine. All right, and I want that to be angled. And I'm just going to use my, well, hello. Hello, I didn't mean for you to be picked up. Hello. I put my sticky pad on there. I'll just use one of the drink glasses here. It needs a little bit more glue. It is so fine, and the gold is so slippery that it doesn't always want to stick the way you would want it to, especially with a textured, embossed background. A little bit more right there, I think. All right, now I'm going to get back to coloring. While this is drying, I'm going to just put my drink glass right there. I don't drink. We just collected, my husband and I, when we traveled, we collected these drink glasses from different places we went to over time. Little souvenirs. Okay, now I'm going to do gold for his coins. And I'm using my Artistro permanent marker pen. This is an oil-based paint pen. And it is so shiny and glossy that these will just sparkle. And I'm going to try and outline the shamrock with this. And then I'm going to do this in gold. It's kind of like a gold gel pen, only it is much more intense, shiny. Which, of course, is my cup of tea. And then I'm going to put this on his hat. I'll do the outside also. You do want to watch your lines when you're using this because it is paint, so it will cover up any of the black lines if you get it on the black line. Oh, I see it a little bit more of his beard that I did not get. Oh, you know, that was supposed to be his beard. Okay. We're just going to make him have a different color beard here. That wasn't his shirt. He's got a two-toned beard now. So I will do the same green down here as I did on the upper to make it look like his beard is brown and orange. I guess he would be a Cleveland Browns fan. Oh, I can give him to my brother-in-law, who is a Cleveland Browns fan. You know what I'm going to take? I'm going to take a little bit of that green, and we're just going to add some of that so he looks like he has brown tones in his mustache. There we go. Make an error work in your favor. And I'm just putting gold on the edges of his breeches and his collar. And oh, why not the edge of the pot? That should be black, but I'm going to go with the gold. And it's got gold inside. Okay, now for the beard, I'm going to use Stencils in the color of Frosted Lace. I'm just going to put this right down on my mat, and I'm going to use my toothpick. Normally I use a paintbrush, but in these teeny tiny areas, a toothpick works great. Now that's for the foam. That'll make it look foamy. I'm just going to clean that up. And I'm going to use glossy accents for the glass, because it'll dry clear and make his beer mug look like it is made of actual glass. And I just use the other end of my toothpick for that. Okay. I'll clean that up. Now for some more accents. It needs some gems, and I've got, oh, probably not the right color. Oh, actually, this bright green would be pretty, but so would gold pearls. Let's see. Oh, you know, I'm going to crystal stickles the shamrock. And I can use my paintbrush for this. Crystal has a little bit of a green tone to it. And I was going to use rhinestones, but I'm going to let me grab my gold pearls. They're just behind me here. Okay. Yes, I think the gold pearls. They're the wrong color gold. All right, so we will go with dark green rhinestones. Let's see. Placement. Nope. I'm going to put one over here. All right. That is it. So let me go over the parameters and see if I've met them all. A card with 3 folds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've met that parameter. The color of sweaters, and as I said, that sweater was green and black and white and gold. I've got all those colors. Footwear, he's got feet on his, shoes on his feet, not feet on his shoes. And Post-it note, yep, I used the Post-it note to cover up the washi tape on the edge of this while I stenciled that. You know, and I think I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling on the envelope while I'm here and I have it. And in fact, the stencil's already dirty, so okay. And we'll use the Post-it notes again. I'm just going to put a little bit down here in the corner. And I'm going to cover up where I don't want to have there. That's where I will use now the green brush. I just have it. It should be back in its spot. There it is. It is in its spot, right where it's supposed to be. Just going to use what's already on my brush. And there we go. Coordinating envelope. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I want to show you how sparkly that is. And the glossy accents hasn't dried yet, but you can see a little bit of the shimmer on his beer mug. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay warm, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.